Hi everyone, this is PC Doctor 2 here, and what you are looking at is a computer that I recently acquired. This computer, as you can tell, is a Hewlett Packard computer. I got this computer out of the trash the other day. I've noticed that somebody had thrown it away, and my first thought was, when I looked at this computer after seeing what it had, was maybe this computer was thrown out because someone had moved out and the maintenance men had cleaned out that apartment and just threw everything away. Well, where this computer came from, or the person that owned this computer, was somebody that did recently move out of this apartment complex, and I thought they threw it away because they didn't need it anymore and had no other way to get rid of it. So anyway, this computer here is a Hewlett Packard. The exact model number is a m8530f, I believe. It says over here. Yep, it is an m8530f. And here is all the stuff. Once I get a focus on it, here is all the stuff that this computer did come with. So I figured, hey, a free computer, not that old, but it does have a problem. It has a bad power supply, and that is why they threw this computer away. And how I know that it has a bad power supply? Well, I went to test it the other night, and when I went to go turn it on, the computer would not turn on at all. And immediately I knew what the problem was, and that was a power supply. I actually took the power supply out of this computer already, and that is the power supply sitting right there. I opened up the power supply and it looked as if the capacitors had leaked and some other issues. If you watch my video on the power supply that I've already uploaded to YouTube, you can see, hopefully, some detail on what actually happened. In regards to this computer, it does have some stuff my current one over there does not have. The first of which is it has this little smart media card reader thing. It can read all sorts of cards, like from digital cameras and stuff. The second thing, although the computer doesn't actually have it, it says it's got a personal media drive bay. If you open this up, you can actually slide in a removable hard drive, and this little mechanism that's in the computer does connect to the power supply and some other place which I haven't figured out, but because I don't actually have a hard drive, a removable hard drive that will fit there, I just left it unplugged, and that's what we have there. And over here we have a connectivity center. We have audio ports. It's actually got a FireWire port and 2 front USB ports. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the computer around and show you what the back of it looks like.
Alright,
so be right
here
back.
we are again, and this is the back of the computer. And as you can tell, I already took the power supply out of it because it is a faulty power supply.
And kind of like your typical ports, looks like this particular computer has a digital audio port. I believe it's a main sound port. It's also got onboard video, both DVI and VGA. And the back of this one only has 4 USB ports. I'm willing to bet that this computer was assembled in like 2007, I want to say. And it also has a video card, which is specifically DVI, but it also has an HDMI port, something that my computer over there does not have. But I believe the video card in this computer is not that great of a video card from what people are telling me, but or at least the reviews that I read, that's what I'm finding out. Ooh, and I'm flashing low battery, so hopefully I can get all this video in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end this video, and I will be starting the second part of this video, which will show you the inside of this computer. So I will be back in just a minute. Alright, we are back, and this is the left side of the computer if you were looking at it from the front. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the side panel and show you what the inside looks like. So we just pull out here. We just pull it. And there we go. Here's the inside. I haven't figured out those screen things yet, but I do know how to get the drives out if I need to get them out. And actually, even though this computer does come with a 750 gigabyte hard drive, I actually did take the hard drive out of the computer and put it in that one, although it's not connected right now because I don't have another SATA cable or a power cable to connect it. I took it out and put it in that computer because I wanted to test it to see if it worked, and it does work. So other than the fact that the power supply does not work in this computer, I've taken a look at the motherboard in here. I don't see anything that looks to be burned or anything weird. So I'm thinking this computer does have potential of running again. And my plan with this is that I will eventually get another power supply for it, but I just don't have the appropriate fundage to do so at this time. So who knows how long it'll be until I can get a power supply for this computer. Now, if anybody watching would like to send me a power supply and maybe wants to sell it very cheap or just give me a power supply, message me. I am looking for a 450 watt or greater power supply for this computer. It originally had a 350 watt, which is underpowered for this computer, something of which that Hewlett Packard always does for their computers. That's why I don't ever buy their products anymore. But anyway, I don't know how well you can see it. That card is the video card. It's not like the video cards you find in many computers, in your newer computers nowadays. And that little card down there is the modem, which this computer must have come with, or they either put it in, but I'm willing to bet this computer is completely original with no upgrades. The last I knew, I think this computer was last running in 2010 based on the stuff I found on the hard drive, but I could be wrong. So anyway, it does have a CPU cooling fan there. It's an AMD processor. I'm going to turn the computer to the other side and you can read all the stuff that this computer comes with. It'll I don't know for sure exactly what processor it is in here because I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, and when I got this computer, I don't know if they attempted to fix it, the previous owners that is. But when I looked inside here, all these cables, the majority of them were unplugged in here. I don't know what their reasoning behind it was, but I do believe I got everything plugged back in the way that it should be. Now the hard drive that came with this computer, it does have data on it, and I don't know if the person before me wanted to, or if the person before me did that so that hopefully their data wouldn't be exposed in case anybody like me would pick this computer up out of the trash and see what's on it, which for all of you who plan to get rid of a computer, if you're going to get rid of a computer and include the hard drive with it, always clean off your hard drive if you know how. If you do not know how, get somebody who knows how to do it, because otherwise you are at risk of exposing any personal information you might have on that hard drive, because you never know where a computer is going to end up if you don't do this. So this is a word of warning for all of you out there. Now in this particular case, I bet the person who threw his computer out was not able to do so. So immediately once I get it running, I will have to clean the hard drive off, which I plan to do right away. Now this computer comes with Windows Vista on it, and we all know how Windows Vista is for most of us who have used it and had issues with it. But I'm willing to bet I could put Windows 7 on this if I get it running again. But like I said, eventually I am going to get a power supply once I get the appropriate fundage, and if for some reason I don't get the appropriate fundage and I need to get rid of this computer, then my next plan will be to just part it out and save the parts that I want and then get rid of the rest. And the only things I would probably save out of this are the hard drive and that DVD drive, which I bet works too. Maybe the RAM, but otherwise get rid of everything else. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the computer to the other side and you can read the specs. Alright, so I'll be right back. And finally, here is the right side of the computer if you were looking at it from the front. I'm not going to take that side cover off, it's pretty much nothing behind there. Anyway, here's the complete specs. If you want to read, pause the video. Well, there's really not much more to say about this computer. Like I said, if anybody wants to send a power supply or wants to sell me one very cheap, message me. Alright, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. And last but not least, if I ever get this computer running again, my future plans with this are to either use it as a second computer over here. I can fit another computer on this desk if I want to, and probably use it for like experimental purposes, or I may give this computer to a family relative, or I may sell this computer for some money. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet if I get it running. I just want to throw that in there quick. So with that said, all I have to say is I hope you enjoyed the video, and that's it for now. And one other final piece actually is that if anybody wants to send a power supply, I just want everybody to know that the power supply in this computer appears to be a generic looking power supply. It's probably the normal size power supply that you'll find in any computer. But it must be a power supply that has SATA connectors on it, at least 2 power ones. I believe this is a 24 pin connector, so it must have one of these. Also, it must have one of these on it as well. Alright, with that being said, all I have to say for now is that's it.